What can I get you?
Good evening and welcome to another episode. Now, I've been working out how many shows I've done so far since I started all this.
Mm-hmm.
And did I hear a voice? Of course, we have heard a voice. Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm fine. So, how many shows have you done?
300.
You giving Terry Wogan a run for his money?
Yes, I've actually been offered to do Eurovision next year.
Okay.
And so, yes, so I need to get in contact with Ireland and the rest of them to do a fix. Got to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and the new person for the ladies and gentlemen, the new person for Eurovision for next year for the UK is Mark Memphis, ladies and gentlemen. Mark is going to be on Eurovision. He'll be singing My Way.
And be nil point across the board.
Come on.
Well, maybe 2 points. Maybe I'll get 2 points from Finland.
If I went on there, I wouldn't get anything. I wouldn't even get on the board. Anyway, good evening, guys, and welcome. Yes, so thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much for supporting me for these 300 and something episodes would still going. Gosh, there you go. And thank you very much for all my sponsors and everybody. You're doing a fantastic job. Um, Even though that you want to sack me and things like that, but you can't because it's my channel. So there you go. Anyway, sorry, Mark, but I've got to tell him that. No, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about today about something that is close to my heart, which is what you call self care.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, sometimes what we do is our self care. We kind of like neglect ourselves and everything, right? Our own selves, like health wise or other things as well. I remember during the outbreak of the virus or whatever. My hair was like right in a mess. I was like a bloody I was in a hippie. Sorry about the French, but I was looking at hippie and everything. And the trouble is, sometimes we do regret, we do kind of like think out like we do neglect ourselves quite a bit, don't we? Do you reckon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we do. Especially when something horrible's happening, and you can get wrapped up in other things. You can get wrapped up in worries. You can get wrapped up in panic, and you can run around like a blue-assed fly. Sorry, nearly swore there on the airwaves. And you can forget, you need to look after yourself. You need to be kind to yourself as well. Especially, like I say, when you're in those periods where you're thinking of, you're trying to think out of the box, you're trying to solve problems, you're trying to find solutions, and you just focus on that. Or you focus on the thing that's frightening you, or you focus on the thing that's frightening everybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The trouble is, so these days, so it's kind of like we always care. I was speaking to somebody this week, um, this week, last week about kind of like looking after ourselves and everything in another one of the shows and everything. And sometimes we go around helping a lot of people, but we don't take care of ourselves. And I said to them, and I probably said it to you before, that if we don't look after ourselves, how do we expect to look after other people?
Yeah.
It's right,
Yeah,
though, isn't it?
definitely. And that kind of thinking applies to other aspects of yourself. I.e., if you don't like yourself, if you don't love yourself, you're going to project that onto other people. That how can you expect anybody to see any worth in you if you don't see it yourself?
Mm, mm.
But yeah, certainly. And there's only one person that can really, really take care of you properly, and that's yourself.
Of course, of course. I remember a while back when I went away and I went away to a boot camp and I came back because of my weight and everything, and
Hmm.
I had a stroke and heart attack and things. And the trouble is, people were saying to me, "No, you've got to look after yourself. You've got to look after yourself." And the trouble is, when you've had a stroke and a heart attack and everything else like that, you're relying on other people. And I'm sort of a person where I didn't like people relying on me. Do you get me?
Hmm. Yeah.
And the trouble is, for a while, I was here, couldn't do anything, you know. And the trouble is, if we are not right with ourselves, we can't kind of like going around and helping everybody else, you
No.
know, because you know we're not going to be. It's pointless, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah.
It's it's pointless. If someone comes up to you and if you're not right with yourself, and someone says, "Right, Mark, I've got a problem. I've got a relationship problem. I've got a problem with my girlfriend. My girlfriend's left me, or my wife's left me. What can I do?" You probably could do, okay, go, calm down. We can talk to you. But then we should be giving advice up because you know we're not right ourselves, really, are we?
Hmm. Yeah. No, I understand that. Yeah.
It's I don't I can't understand it why and it's another thing as well where what really gets up my nose is when these doctors, you go to a doctor and you're feeling down, depressed and everything, and you go to a doctor and you go, um, yeah, I need some medication, I need some help, I feel down, really depressed, and you feel so low, and they go, okay, I think you need to go on, hang on for a second, and they go through the book. Have you ever seen that done? Where they go through a book, or they
Yeah.
go on their computer and they look up and they go, right, that antidepressant is not strong enough. Let's go for another one. And the trouble
Mm.
is, they don't know actually what's wrong with you. They just only can diagnose the actual problem, can they?
Mm. Yeah. I mean, we've said it before. That's one of the touch and go things about medication as well. Certainly, antidepressants or anxiety medication. You have to try a few to see which one works for you. And like you say, it's a little strange, really, for a doctor to consult a manual or consult a website because the doctor's dealing with you and your needs, could be completely different from the person that he last spoke to who was feeling anxious or depressed. There doesn't seem to be that level of them trying to understand what the problem is. And that's probably because you've only got a 5-minute appointment. Um,
Yeah,
and it's difficult.
yeah, I know. The trouble is, so, and it's like with mental health, isn't it? You kind of like, I don't know if you ever been to like a mental health assessment. I can't remember. Have you ever been for assessment? Where
Yeah,
you see the doctor for mental health? And you
yeah,
go there, don't you? And the doctor would go, and you're there, and they say, right, tell me what's the problem. So you're there telling them the problem for around about half an hour. So, and they'll say, right, you've got an anxiety problem. You got and you got that. But really, they don't know the actual problem that's going in your head.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You could be feeling suicidal, and they say to you, and I remember once where I was feeling suicidal, and they said to me, "Sorry, but I don't think you are suicidal."
Mm.
But how do they know that?
They can't know that, not within 5 minutes, and they can't know that for sure because you might not be articulating it very well because you're not focused on what you're saying. You're trying to you're trying to convey how you're feeling, and you're saying the wrong thing. You're getting upset at yourself, and it could be coming across that you just completely, you're highly strung and you're losing it. You're not suicidal. You're not depressed. It all boils down to this 5 minute slot that you have that you've probably had to wait a few days or even weeks to get. I mean, I understand that doctors, by and large, they're really like the first stepping stone to mental health treatment. Because you have to be referred to. What will happen usually? I don't know what happens down at the doctors where you are, but in the past for me, I've gone in and I said I'm not coping very well. They have a quick look at my notes. They'll see. They'll try, and especially if it's a new doctor that you've never spoken to before, and then all they'll do is they'll give you a piece of paper and they'll say phone them up, and then you'll get a telephone appointment at some point. So that usually that's a week or 2 weeks later. So you're talking to another person that you've never spoken to before, going through this half an hour conversation, and then they'll say, right, well, perhaps you need this sort of therapy, or perhaps you need that sort of therapy. And if you're lucky, you can get a space presented to you reasonably quickly. But I've also had it where I've had to wait 5-6 weeks to go on to some sort of a therapy course. And of course, and all the while, you're falling apart. And that's, it's all very well somebody saying to you, well, you've taken the first step, you're talking about it to a doctor, and you're taking strides towards recovery. It's woefully inadequate, the treatment and the service that people with mental health problems get, I think, by and large in this country. If you are lucky, like I say, to get offered the right medication first time, and then you got to wait 2 weeks for that to kick in, you're fortunate. And if you're offered a place for therapy or counselling reasonably quickly, then it's more luck than anything else. It's got nothing to do with this well thought out, well presented mental health system, because frankly we don't have one. It's poor. It's cruel.
Totally agree. It's very poor. Well, down the south down here, they what they do is it starts off the doctor. Then what they do is they tell you to go for assessment at like a clinic. So you go to the clinic, you see a psychiatrist or somebody.
Oh, right, okay.
Then they kind of like diagnose you. Well, they think they diagnose you. Then if they feel that you are not coping or not capable, or they think that you are suicidal, say, and you're a danger to yourself and others, they will either put you into a psychiatric unit or they will section you under the Mental Health Act. But the trouble with the psychiatric unit is that there's a lot of stigma around it, right? Where if you say to somebody, right, I'm going in a psychiatric unit, I've been told to go in there, and they go, oh no, there's a bunch of nutters in there. They're all weirdos and everything, but it's not. They're ordinary people, and the trouble is, for people who are really, really bad, who's in a kind of like a psychotic state, in a really bad way, they are sectioned off to another place. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you want so there's three stages where they put you, so it'd be like it's called a cute unit. So it's like me or someone depressed So I went into a acute unit. Now, if I was in hospital and all of a sudden that I came really, really bad and kicked off, then I was out with it, and I lost complete self care of myself and gone a bit crazy, say, you know, then
Mm.
I will be put up to that level where, I need further kind of like mental health treatment.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the trouble is, so there's a lot of stigma in it. They kind of like shouldn't they mention like a psychiatric unit? People say, oh no no no, oh you're mental, but it's not. It, please don't please. If people's listening, it's not what it is. They do kind of like help you in there.
Mm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really do. Um, I, you know, the only thing about the psychiatric unit, what I found was that because I was on what you call suicidal watch, is where they took the shoelaces off you and everything else like that.
Mm.
Then you're in a dorm with everybody else,
Mm.
and that's the worst thing that you have. If you're suicidal, that's the worst thing you ever do.
Mm.
Is share a dorm with people,
Yeah.
you know, because it's you could be harming other people.
Mm.
But then if you do kick off or anything, then you will get what you call like a continuous watch. I think is what they call it,
Yeah.
where there's somebody there all the time keeping an eye on you.
Mm.
So, but it does work. Therapy does work, but it's just I think mental health at the moment is not. What can I say? It's not much of it. It's not funded very much.
No, it seems to be very low down on the priorities of the people that have the power and the tools to actually do something worthwhile and to do something good and to help. Instead, let's have a boat. Let's have Boris's boat. Let's have a £200 million boat or whatever the hell that thing costs.
Mm,
It's just ridiculous. Now more than ever, people need to have that proper support. They need to have that proper care, and they need to have that understanding, which is another thing that sadly
mm,
I think is lacking, and I've seen it get worse over the
mm.
last 10 or 11 years.
Well, I'm in. I'm on. Sorry, start again. I am an ambassador for Mind and also for PHC,
Mm.
Public Health Corporation. We're and I've been, and I remember doing an event for them last year with the Elvis tribute artist, you know.
Hmm.
And when I was doing an interview for the paper and the radio, they were saying to me, "What do you think about the government not putting much into mental health to help people and all that lot, and for support groups and peer groups?" And I think, well, at the end of the day, if the government got rid of their second homes, right, sold their
Hmm.
homes and give that money and put that money back into the pot, I think mental health would be better off,
Hmm.
And then we had another politician saying, well, I don't think that's fair, Steve, is it? What you saying that? Because we do work hard, But then my reply was, well, have a look at a picture what I just found on the internet where you're falling asleep in the House of Commons, and you're
Mm.
getting paid 500 quid just to go for that thing, So it's the trouble is, so with anything these days, so with mental health and everything, two is the stigma, and sorry, one is the stigma, and two, the funding is poor, very poor. I don't know if
Yeah,
you agree.
I do agree, and like I say, it's just it's just where it sits on their list of priorities. It's very, very, very low down. And especially what we've all had to put up with over the last, is it 15 months now? We're entering the 15th month. Now more than ever, even people that were reasonably well adjusted people up until March of last year, we've all had to put up with so much, not seeing family, having our livelihoods either completely taken away from us or under threat, the uncertainty, frightened of getting the disease ourselves, frightened of people we love getting the disease. There's going to be people out there that have had no experience of proper anxiety and depression and everything that, have been really slapped hard by it. And, where's the help? Where's the understanding? Because all these empty sound bites from the government about how we'll have the resolve to beat this thing and we will come through stronger. They're just words, and they're just meaningless words. And, it's shocking, and it's very, very sad.
Yeah, totally. And and it's totally wrong, and I really do believe that. Guys on the radio, can I ask that question and get back to me for next week's program? I want to ask the question: what level do you think that mental health is at the moment? What level do you think we're on? And if and just let me know your kind of like your opinions about it, and see what we can do, but put up like a petition or something. Because at the end of the day, I think it's totally wrong that mental health is lower. Do you know what? I was looking at a survey the other day, and you got, what was it? Pregnancy bottom, obesity. 3 is mental health. 4 is what's it called? What's it called? AA, Alcohol Anonymous, and the other one is drugs. And and I'm thinking, but surely mental health is an umbrella anyway. It comes under all that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. What was that survey about? Was it outlining the things that cause people
more important to spend money on than anything else?
Right, okay. So from a budget point of view, right?
Yeah.
I mean, certainly with drink and drugs, let's not kid ourselves. Most people get loaded, for want of a better phrase, because they like it and they enjoy it. But I would imagine with most people that do participate, there must be something beneath the surface that makes that the be all and end all of their day. There's got to be something lurking beneath the surface that needs addressing. Drink and drugs, it could be masking something that's happened in the past, something traumatic. Because don't get me wrong, I mean I don't take drugs. I like to have a drink now and then occasionally, and I do mean that occasionally. I would find it very, very dull and very, very boring to do that, to wake up in the morning and crave that. That to me just seems like an empty life, an empty existence. So mental health, like you say, it should really be nudged up, because if drink and drugs is masking something, then that kind of therapy treatment, that kind of getting people to face the problems and tackle the problems through therapy, that ultimately has to, that must work. It's not going to work for everybody. I'm not idealistic and think that, every single drug addict and every single drunk that's what they want. Because it's an illness as well. It's an addiction. But by and large, it's usually used to block something out, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So certainly, in the case of those two things, what were the other ones? Pregnancy and
obesity.
Obesity again. Obesity and overeating and that thing. Sometimes you can be unfortunate, and that's your metabolism. That is how some people can eat 3 bags of donuts every day and not put a pound on, and then there's some people that can just look at a bag of chips and but again, you see, I've done it where I have I've eaten to comfort myself, and there was a point when I was doing it a lot. I was eating, certainly in lockdown. I was eating. It was like, oh, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to watch a film now, and I had to have a bowl of crisps. I had to have a bowl of something, and it was like I couldn't watch TV without having that comfort, because I was depressed about not working. I was worried about the future. So, and people do that. There's comfort food, and there's some people that just go for it, because again, it makes them feel okay. There's certain things in chocolate that give you like a slight buzz when you eat it. But then I think for a lot of people, especially those who are overweight or not feeling too good about that, they'll be angry at themselves because why on earth did they eat those 4 chocolate donuts then? What is wrong with me? And then they'll start being tough on themselves, and they'll start, and then that whole thing, that's where mental health should come into it.
Well, there you go. There you go, guys. This is quick tonight. Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Take care,
guys. Sorry?
Take care.
Thank you very much. So that was Mark Memphis. Go and follow him. And he's when you do some more gigs again on Facebook.
Well, the thing is, you see, it's work is now starting to pick up. Internet gigs, Facebook gigs are a waste of time. Everyone's doing them, and they're all getting chucked off again at the moment. The Facebook police are running around. It's like the miners' strike again. Running around with batons, smacking the poor old singers over the head and saying, "You mustn't sing, you mustn't sing, you mustn't entertain people." I just want to be out there doing proper gigs in front of people. So,
So, guys, listen to Mark's, kind of like videos and get in contact with him if you do want somebody. He does everything. He does birthday parties, weddings, funerals, divorces. He does everything. Thank you, Mark.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, he does. He totally does. I always like winding him up, but he knows I'm only joking. So, if you've got a wedding, the man is there. Please contact him, and and just mention Crossroads or something like that, and they'll give you 10% off. Wouldn't you, Mark?
9%. Let's not push it.
9%. Don't push it. That's it. Okay. So if you want half an hour, oh yeah, and he also does grams as well, don't you?
Also do what? Sorry.
Singing grams.
I do kissograms. I strip as well. I do. Yeah. It all comes off. Everything's off.
Oh, right. And in the meantime, we've got to go, guys. He's getting a bit bad these days, I think it's. Yeah. Anyway, thank you to Mark Memphis as always. I'll see you after.
There's man. Bye.
Be back after the news, guys. Bye. There you go, guys. I feel like a monk can hide in the way of that. because I'm so small. Hello. All right, then. I've got to go. See you later, alligators. At the Royal Crocodile.